Welcome to All the Way Up podcast by Jeffrey Mensah. This is the Bar and Beyond series, a platform where we host insightful conversations that push growth, drive ambition, and shape perspectives of young lawyers. Hey, lovely listeners and viewers. This is Jeffrey Mensah of the All the Way Up podcast. It's been a while. It's been a long while. And I come your way today with a special edition of the All the Way Up podcast. Nope, I'm not interviewing anyone in this episode. In a few minutes, you'll know all of what it's about. But beforehand, I just want to express my sincerest gratitude to all who have supported the podcast, all who have watched, who have listened, who've dropped a comment, who have shared the link to any of our episodes. Over time, I've received lots of encouraging feedback. And what that does is to spur me on to keep the engagements going, to keep generating content that is relevant to your career journeys, and to help shape your perspective as you move along your career paths. And so God bless you, and keep expecting nothing but the best from the All the Way Up podcast. Today, I'm excited. I'm happy to share with you an encounter, or should I say a series of encounters I had with the legendary Nana Dr. SKB Asante. He's also the Omanhene of the Asokore traditional area, and he goes by the stool name Nana Susubiri Krobia Asante, a great man by all standards. Nana Dr. SKB Asante has had an outstanding and extensive period of service both nationally and internationally. Reading his profile, I couldn't help but marvel at how one man could wear so many hats, be so impactful, and contribute so relevantly not just to his nation, Ghana, but to the globe at large. Called to the bar in 1963, he started off his legal career as a law lecturer at the Law Department of the Gold Coast University, now the University of Ghana. He then served as legal counsel at the World Bank for a considerable period of time. His career would later on see him become the Solicitor General of Ghana under Buzier's government. He would then serve as Deputy Attorney General under Echampon's government. Shortly after, he served as Director of the United Nations Center on Transnational Cooperation. Interestingly, he was nominated to the Supreme Court with greats like Justice Apalu, Justice Aban, Justice Archer, Justice VCRAC Crab, Justice Soa, Justice Eni. However, he declined. Nana is one of the founders of the Ghana Arbitration Center, and in that vein, one of the finest arbitrators that alternative dispute resolution has seen. In 1991, Nana Dr. SKB Asante was appointed as chairperson of a 9-member committee of experts charged with the task of putting together proposals for a new draft constitution for Ghana. As you're aware, at the time, Ghana was under military rule, and so the work of the committee of experts was the first step towards transitioning Ghana into constitutional rule. The work of the committee would eventually lead to the promulgation of what we now have as the supreme law of the land, the 1992 Constitution of Ghana. And this is where my interest was. So interestingly, I cast my mind back to junior high school. This was JHS 2 at St. Teresa's School, North Kanishi. In one of my social studies classes, we were treating the Constitution of Ghana. And of course, we didn't treat it with any real depth at the time. We're just scratching the surface. But one of the subtopics was the stages to the drafting of the 1992 Constitution. And stage 1 was proposals by the Committee of Experts. Of course, at the time, I didn't really understand what the Committee of Experts was all about, what their terms of reference was, the significance of their work, really. We just listed the stages in summary form. And of course, at the time, you would have to chew the list, arm yourself with it. So if it pops up in the exam, you can quickly list the stages. But fast forward to recently when I had the rare privilege working on a project with the University of Ghana School of Law to interact with Nana Dr. SKB Asante. Of course, the work of the Committee of Experts was part of what we discussed, and like I said, it was a rare privilege for him to shed more light on the work of the committee of experts. And amongst the things I was curious about was, who are the members of this committee really? Because I had searched online, typed committee of experts, hoping to probably get pictures of those who are on the committee, but there was limited information online. And so in my interactions, it was disclosed that on the committee, of course, Nana Dr. SKB Asante chaired the committee, but on the committee was also Dr. Ajiman Bedu. He was Domahene at the time, Osajifo Usiadio, Dr. Ajiman Bedu. We had Professor Evio Dankwa. We had Dr. Charles Jeboni. We had Mrs. Sabina Ofori Boateng. She was a legislative drafter and also the secretary to the committee. We also had Mr. James Shiniri Hesse. I read that he was an expert draftsman, legislative draftsman, who had done extensive work not just in Ghana, but outside Ghana. We also had Dr. Kojo Afarejan, a popular name. He was served as Electoral Commissioner of Ghana for a considerable period of time. We had Justice Annie Jage. She was a judge serving in Ghana at the time. And Mr. Ibo Benti Angel, he was a lawyer representing the bar on the committee. And so these were the members, right? And so my curiosity took me further, where I asked Nana if he had a group photograph of the committee of experts. And I mean, he said no. That the committee had limited time within which to work. They were set up by the Committee of Experts Constitution Law 1991. It was a PNDC Law 252. They had full membership in May of 1991, and they commenced work in June of 1991 and had to submit their reports on 31st July 1991. So they had very limited time, and so a group photograph would be the last thing on the minds of these members. All right. And so, I mean, they didn't have a group photograph. Nana said they didn't have a group photograph. And so the idea came, all right, that, okay, so why don't you, Jeffrey, put together a piece that could serve as a group photograph, a piece that could help tell the story of the Committee of Experts, a piece that could help educate the younger generation, help them put a face to this group that actually took the first step, did the foundational work, which would then transition Ghana into constitutional rule, which we've enjoyed to this very point. All right, and so I managed to go online. I managed to gather the pictures and photographs of the various committee members and put together this piece that you see. And I had a rare privilege post my engagement with Nana Dr. SKB Asante to then again visit him at his home. And having put the piece together, I presented it to him to help immortalize the work of the Committee of Experts, and to help educate, to help tell the story. And so this was the presentation, and subsequently Nana also responds. Nana, so this gift, let me just take off the wrapper and then I'll deliver my very short speech.
I think you plan the real ceremony.
Wow.
Nana, so here's the gift.
Oh my goodness.
So it's inspired by two things. The first was, I recall, as I was doing the research, we were in touch on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And there was a time when I asked if you had a group photograph of the Committee of Experts. And you said no. And for me, it was understandable, because given the short period of time you had to work with, the pressure under which you had to work, you didn't have the luxury of taking good photographs. All right, and so I had that in mind when I was putting together this piece. And secondly, also, I think the interactions we've had prior to this moment, I acknowledge the significance of the work of the committee of experts. Being a young lawyer myself, I draft documents, court processes, reports, and I know that the first draft is always the most crucial. The first proposal, the first copy you are able to generate is always the most crucial. It's always easy to review, it's always easier to critique, to amend, to change. But the heavy lifting is really in producing the first document. And that's exactly what the committee of experts did. They put forward the first proposals, which later on at a subsequent stage will then be critiqued, will then be amended for us to have the 1992 constitution we have now. But the heavy lifting, the foundational work has to be acknowledged. And I have that in mind as well. And so Nana, I have here the pictures of all the committee members. I was able to get a shot of the cover page of the report, and then the signature page, the page that had the signatures of all the 9 committee members. It's not a group photograph, but I believe it has everyone in there and can serve the purpose as well. It can tell a brief history as well. And so right below the name of the committee is a little bit about the committee, when it was established, when the committee was fully constituted, when you started work, and then when you ended work as well. Doing the mathematics, you had a month and a couple of weeks, I believe, to finish the work, because full appointment was in May 1991. You commenced work 11th June 1991, and then you submitted the reports 31st July 1991. As well, Nana, this is it. I don't know where you'll place it, but this is from us to you in acknowledgement of the sterling work that and the sacrifice as well that you.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome, Nana. It's an honor as well. It's an honor as well.
Now, I would like to say the first or one of the very few explicit acknowledgements of the work of our committee. And I've always said that we have not been properly acknowledged. But history is always very interesting. Recently, Mr. Raymond Aqua acknowledged on TV that people should know the difference between our document, the report of the Committee of Experts, and the final product of the Consultative Assembly. And that the constitutional review exercise would benefit from going back to that report and particularly examining the proposals that were presented. It is a comment which has been made by the former speaker, that is the Right Honorable Mike Quay. But it has not been so graphically presented in a permanent form as yours. So I would like to thank you most sincerely that for the benefit of our interaction, you had the thought of constituting this important document, I would say, which is a testimony to the work we did. My colleagues, some of them have passed on, but the rest would appreciate this, and I will let them know that there's a young lawyer who has seen fit to immortalize our names or our contribution to the constitutional progress of this country. Thank you very much. And thank you, young lady.
My pleasure, Nana.
And so that was it. A very fulfilling experience, I must say. Very, very fulfilling experience. And I'm so glad Nana, Dr. SKB Asante, found the gift very useful and appreciated it. And so there you know them, the members of the committee of experts chaired by Nana, Dr. SKB Asante. You should look up some of them. I mean, they've done some pretty great stuff for the motherland Ghana as well as the world at large. And so my visit to Nana Dr. SKB Asante was time very well spent, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Number one highlight really was what you just witnessed, the opportunity to make the presentation that you saw. A rare privilege I'm so grateful for. Second highlight, I would say, were the series of deep conversations that we had. Nana is a repository of wisdom. And so a few minutes with him, and he has so much insights to pour out. If you are receptive, you end up leaving with so much. And so that for me was highlight number 2. Highlight number 3 was the moment when Nana called for his wig and gown to be brought so I could have a look at them. And so the gown came in a bag customized with the initials SKBA, which are the initials to his full name, Samuel Kojo Boateng Asante. Yes, and the wig also came in a nice container with his name customized on the top.
I may have changed it because when I went and came back, but I went, and then when I came to the second one, was when I
You had to go to court, so yes.
And that's a down. So
Wow, no.
yes, I wear that so people will know.
This should be in a museum. And as you see, the gown, the rule they say is the older looking the gown, the clearer the indication of seniority at the bar. Exactly. And so you look at this gown and you just know that whoever the owner is a senior, most senior, right? And to know that he was called to the bar in 1963, that just is the pinnacle of seniority, if you ask me. And so this was highlight number 3. It was time very well spent. Yes, the motherland indeed is blessed to have someone like Nana Dr. SKB Asante, who has served as he has. Mother Ghana has really benefited from Nana Dr. SKB Asante, and youngsters like myself have him to look up to as a model, to read on. He's a prolific writer, has written on a number of areas of law, international transactions, business transactions, arbitration, you name it. Nana has probably written on it. And so I encourage you to look up his book, Critical and Biographical Essays of Nana Dr. SKB Asante. He catalogs a lot in that book. He catalogs lectures he delivered at special occasions. He catalogs his time in graduate studies, his time as a lecturer, his time as chairperson of the Committee of Experts, his time as the director of the United Nations Center on Transnational Cooperation, his time as legal counsel at the World Bank. He catalogs his entire life in this book, and there's a lot you can learn from it. And so yes, that's it. I'm so grateful that you spent time to watch this very special episode. It's something I really wanted to share with you followers, as well as audience, listeners, viewers. And so there you have it. Look out for more episodes, insightful conversations. And if you have any suggestions, you have any feedback you'd want to give, please feel free to comment on this video. And yes, thank you.